Hey guys, what is up? Thank you so much for coming to my How to Get Away with Murder live chat. This was the episode before the finale, which is next week, which is crazy. This season has gone by really fast, or this half season. Hi E, thank you so much for being here. So if you're in the room, go ahead and say hello so I can give you a shout out. Well, gosh, I have a lot of thoughts about this episode, but first, I'm going to tell you, you may notice something about me, which is my finger. This is probably going to show up in this video. If you follow me on Instagram, I've been doing some stories about it, but I'll quickly address that because you're probably going to see this finger and you might be like, what the heck is on her finger? But anyway, I was carrying a bunch of stuff back to my car on Tuesday, and I tripped over something like in a parking lot that I don't still know what it is, and I landed on my pinky finger and dislocated it, and I was in a lot of pain, so it's been kind of a crazy week for me. And also I like scratched my leg, and both of my palms are messed up, so the struggle is real, but it could have been much worse, so you know, I'm thankful. And I'll just have to, you know, wear this little cast thing for a little while, so anyway, that's what's been going on with me. As far as How to Get Away with Murder, I was very, very, very disappointed with this episode. Super disappointed with the reveal of who called the hit on Wes. Thank you guys so much. You know, I did my last theory video about who wanted Wes dead, and I just felt like the mother was so predictable because they pretty much led us to believe it would be her the whole time, and then they went with her, and like I said in the title here, like, why is this so predictable, you know? Thank you guys so much for the nice messages. I really appreciate it. I want to say hi to everyone who's here. Shamia, Sugar Rush, Julian, Wit, Scorpio, Vanessa, Lauren, J. Ivy, Ralph, Black Blonde, Ashna, DJ, Dan the Man, Maria, Jason, Ben, Radoslava, Julian, I might have said some of the names twice, Maria, oh my god, so many people here, Marissa, Christian, thank you guys so much for being here. But yeah, so we're supposed to get a huge twist next week, which you already knew that was coming. So, I mean, if we're going to be super obvious here, then Bonnie is dead because of her car crash. I mean, are we going the obvious route? I always thought this show was one that had, like, amazing surprises and twists. And, you know, I still have some hope for next week, and I'm thinking that they're saving something super amazing, something super shocking for next week. So, when we're saying they're having this big, huge twist, I mean, I don't see that being Bonnie dying because that's pretty much what they hinted at the end of this episode, so I don't feel like that's what they're going for. Now, they may be going for something really lame next week, and I personally don't believe that Bonnie is dead because they made it look like she's dead, but I do have some reservations about that because they made Laurel's mom look like this terrible villain, and she ended up being a terrible villain. I just think everything that they have done with Wes has been a massive fail. From the beginning, from deciding to kill off his character for really no reason, who killed him, why he was killed, the person who wanted him dead, all of it so bad, so bad. But as Vanessa is saying, it could be Denver or Jorge in the body bag. Right, so we know that Denver wanted something to be done with Bonnie right away. Or, I mean, Jorge wanted something to be done with Bonnie, and he told Denver. So, was it one of them who went out to cause her to wreck, and that's what happened? I saw, like, the silver vehicle upside down. I'm not sure if that was, I think that was Bonnie's, but there could have been another car involved. I don't really know, but I just think, you know, normally I would say there's no way she's dead, you know, and if she does die, like, next week, it's not because of that car crash. You know, like, for those of you who watch This Is Us, honestly, they do such a great job of twists. Like, they would do something like this where it looked like a certain character died and everyone thought that, but something totally different would have happened, you know? Even though This Is Us is not a mystery show and I'm still 2 episodes behind, so no spoilers, they do such a good job with twists. And I used to think that this show did such a great job with surprises and twists, leading us to believe one thing and then circling back around and being totally different. Something else that I felt like was really crazy was how well spoken Simon was, how well he seemed to be doing. I felt like that was incredibly unbelievable. And now the whole storyline with Simon and the way that they're going to kind of dispose of him is just really, really lame. So I'm going to read a lot of your guys' comments because I've just been talking a ton. Sugar Rush is wondering if Rebecca is alive. Now that would be some shocking stuff, but at this point I'm feeling like we are being better about trying to figure out what's going to happen with this show or what we would want to happen with the show. I think a lot of your guys' ideas are so much better than what's actually going on. When I did my video last week about my final thoughts about who wanted Wes dead, I got a lot of great comments from you guys, a lot of great theories. Personally, I think every theory and comment I got was better than what actually played out, because nobody commented like, yeah, they made us think it was her mom and it's going to be the mom. And there's really no good reason other than she just thinks he's a bad guy. I mean, the only way they could have made that worse is if they were like, basically she's racist. I mean, at least they didn't pull like that kind of card, but they went with, oh, he's been in prison or he's got a record or whatever. I mean, really terrible, like really surprisingly terrible. I mean, okay, I might give them a pass if they want to make her the person who wanted Wes dead, but the fact that they hyped it up so much, promoted it last week, promoted it going into this episode, you know, I think obviously Alfred came back to shoot some of this stuff. That's the way they kind of made it seem anyway. And then for what, you know? And I still think that his death was for nothing. I can't explain why we needed to kill him off. I can't get behind the reasoning. I still don't get it. I mean, again, like right after he was killed off, Alfred Enoch was saying he didn't ask to be taken off the show. It wasn't because he had another project or something. I don't know. Okay, back to the comments. Shamia says, you think they're leaving things out of the story because purposely they led us to the mom as the sole suspect. We may still get the twin twist. Honestly, as much as I want there to be more to it, for those of you who watch Pretty Little Liars, I feel like we're going down that road where it's like we keep hoping they'll revise the story again and there's really nothing else that's going to happen with that. I think at this point we're just smarter and better at the whole Wes situation than they are. And again, why did they want Wes off the show? The only thing I can think of is they wanted to be like, look at us, we killed the main character pretty much. I mean, Annalise is the main character, but they killed pretty much the second main character. Definitely the main student character. And I think they wanted to be big and be like, oh my God, we went there. And I'm 100% behind a show killing off a main character and being bold like that. But when there's nothing to back it up and there's not a good reason and it doesn't advance the story, which is what I think we're in that situation here, you shouldn't do it just to be shocking and then you have no other reason, like you have nothing to back that up, and that's where I feel like we are. So Shamia still wants to think that Oliver is a secret spy for Denver Jorge. So I have been, you know, someone very much who thought for quite a while, well before this half season, that Oliver was not a good guy, but I've dropped that too because I think we're just going super basic here with Laurel's mom is evil, Oliver's just a nice guy. I don't know, but there's a lot of people in here that think that, you know, it's not Laurel's mom. She wasn't the one who is involved in this. I was seriously hoping that Laurel was going to strangle her mom last night because I was like, that can be the defining moment in this episode. That can be big. They could go big here because we don't really need her mom around, so it's not that big of a deal. But the big deal would be that Laurel has gone like savage basically, and she's like taking her own hands and strangling her own mother and killing her. You know, and they kind of hinted in the promo for next week that maybe something went down. So I'm not saying that that didn't happen. And that could be our big twist, even though they've pretty much already given that away, is that she does kill her mom. And because they said it was a mother of a twist, which is making me think the mom dies. I don't know. But again, why? Like, they should have done it in that episode, you know? Deja says, do you think the only interesting part about the reveal was Laurel being incredibly heated and almost hurting her mom? Yes. Yes, that to me, but I needed it to go further. I wanted them to go there. I wanted her to, she closed all the windows and I thought something was going to go down because she put them, where no one could look in. And I needed her to use her bare hands and strangle her mom. Not like pull out a gun, not pull out a knife, not drug her mom. Straight up do it with her hands, because you would be that angry. I'm not advocating murder, but I'm saying if your mom was the one who was responsible for killing the person you loved more than anything, the father of your child, you would be that heated, that insane to do that in that moment if that's when you found out. So it would have made sense. But right, Laurel's parents unfortunately are both bad people, as Ashna is saying. Wit says, you're hoping the finale is amazing. This season hasn't been great, but a lot of times How to Get Away with Murder makes us all say, whoa, by the end of it. And that is what they are promoting. But again, if their surprise is that Bonnie died in this episode, but they're just not telling us, or that Laurel kills her mom, while both of those things are huge things, but if that's what they're telling us is the shocking surprise, yet they've already pretty much given both of those away, That's not a shocking surprise. It is a shocking event. Both of those are shocking events, but not good enough for the standards that I think we have come to expect from this show. Louise says the body could be Denver, but not Jorge since he's on the phone asking about Laurel's mom. Okay, so that's a good point. Now, do I care that Denver dies? No. Is that super shocking? No. But I don't like him at all, and I would be very happy to get rid of him. But again, they called it a mother of a twist. So even though that could totally be going on here, I could see that happening as well. The mother clue to me means their big surprise is that Laurel kills her mom or has Frank killed the mom or something happens, you know. Deja says you're kind of glad this was the last time we see Roa because you didn't care about his story too much. Me either, but I thought it was really funny how he kind of pretty much announced like, hey, this is my last scene. I mean, instead of saying that, he was like, hey, we'll never see you again, Annalise. But I was like cheering on the inside, like, he's telling the viewers that he's leaving. I'm like, yes. Which again, I will say for the 400th time, Jimmy Smits is incredible. So no shade to him. But I don't really know what has happened to this show. Maybe other than that, it's just been on so long that they're running out of compelling ideas or ways to surprise people. But they really misused him. And they really butchered this Wes storyline. And it's disappointing to me. You know, and I mean, I can understand maybe what they were trying to do with Wes, and they're just, the fact that they dug all of it back up again, I think was worse than just leaving it alone and making us think her dad did it and moving on, because the mom doing it, does anyone really care? Does that make it more juicy or interesting? I don't think so. I guess maybe unless they're leading up to Laurel killing her mom and being like a newborn savage person after all of that. I don't know. So Brian's asking about Michaela and Asher. So I don't think anyone was shocked to find out that he found out about her cheating on him. They pretty much hinted at it the entire episode. I wonder how much, you know, like, did he actually kind of put that together himself, or did Connor and Oliver feed him pieces of that? So even though she was wrong in cheating on him, I felt like, man, I don't know. If they told him sort of what happened, that's kind of bad on them. Like, you don't want to be the person to tell that. She was getting ready to come, you know, confess. But I think he took it the way that I would take it, you know, if I were in that situation. And I really don't want them to get back together, because I think what she did was really unforgivable. And there was no reason for it, in my opinion. I have seen a couple of comments on my channel, kind of defending what she did. And, you know, no, I'm not trying to talk bad about anyone who left one of those kind of comments on my channel. I kind of responded to a couple people. But here's what I've always thought in a situation of cheating on someone. If you don't really love the person, or if you're tempted to cheat, or whatever the scenario, or you feel like you're found your soulmate in someone else, like, I don't ever think it's okay to just cheat with someone without breaking up with the other person, or trying to, you know, tell them that this is not working, I don't want to be in this anymore, or whatever, you know. I just can't excuse what she did. It just kind of seemed out of nowhere to me. It wasn't like she had known Marcus for a really long time. This has really been building up. She was having, like, I don't know if I want to be with Marcus or Asher, but it was like, basically they kind of just met and hooked up, and, you know, again, I don't know if they're going to have this actor come onto the show because his show is ending, so that totally could possibly be happening. But I don't have any sympathy for Michaela at all, because I think that Asher is a really good guy, and I can't justify what she did at all, no matter who it was with, you know. And I think I said that in my video last week. I don't really care who she cheated with. I care that she cheated, you know. I can't make that make sense or make it be like, give her a pass or whatever. So I think he had the right kind of reaction, and I really don't want them to get back together. And I hope that maybe they'll be friends one day, but I hope that they don't get back together, because she's really not that into him. Honestly, if you're going to cheat on someone, you're not that into the person, and he deserves better, even though I think he's killed a person or whatever, but that's beside the point. Ralph says the killer reveal is weak and totally called it with Bonnie. So, is she dead? I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 on is she dead, and they gave, I feel like they gave that away too much. If she's dead, it's going to bother me, because, you know, there was the issue about the alarm went off, like something was wrong with her car. And then, you know, I knew when she was driving and when Jorge called Dominic, or no, not Dominic. Jorge called Denver like something was going to go down. And I would have kind of been okay with that, you know? Like, I don't need to see that she might be dead in this episode. Could we save it for next week? It's too predictable. If she died in that accident, I'm really struggling because the mom being Wes's killer was way too predictable, and now if we're going to kill off Bonnie being that predictable, so predictable. And if Laurel kills her mom, once again, so predictable. They're giving too much away. You know, save some stuff for the finale. If they want Laurel to kill her mom, let's establish all of that in the finale. Let's establish all of the Bonnie dying in the finale, you know. Hi, Byron. Thank you for being here. Darko says, so it wasn't the mom, it was the dad. It was both of them. Yeah, so in a way, both of them. So really pretty much what we all thought, but we thought it wasn't going to be that way because we thought the show was smarter. But Maria doesn't think the mom killed Wes. Again, Dominic is the person, and I know that's what you mean, but Dominic, we know Dominic was the one hired to do the job, but it's like who wanted it to be done. I would love for that not to be the case, but I think after we've drug it out this long, they're not going to come back around and say, hey, we told you it was the dad, then we told you it was the mom, and wait, it's actually, he's never died. I'm really feeling like Pretty Little Liars. I don't know why, but this show is starting to get more like Pretty Little Liars in the way that it's being put together. And I hate to like compare any show to Pretty Little Liars, and I really never do. Well, maybe I had them on Riverdale. Let me take that back. But this is weird because I should not be comparing How to Get Away with Murder with Pretty Little Liars. Ralph says they always have a good, strong start, strong middle, but always blow it in the end, which is really disappointing. I think the premiere of this half season was really, really good. I loved it. It was probably one of the best they had done. James says Michaela has cheated on everyone she's been with, kind of, because she cheated on Caleb with Asher. She has. Yeah, Caleb was a tortured soul, but that still doesn't give her an excuse. Deja says you think Asher figured out about the Michaela thing mainly due to Connor and Oliver's body language. That's what I think. And they never showed them telling him, hey, she cheated on you or whatever. But I think, you know, you could tell. But I think he was kind of suspicious of it anyway. Well, pretty much he said that. So he wasn't shocked. But it's still a bad situation. Louis says, but the dad said it wasn't him and everyone did assume it was true. So here, was he actually lying? I don't think so. You think there's much more. You don't feel the twin thing anymore. I don't feel the twin thing anymore. But because, you know, I feel like it's just really predictable. Darko says they actually showed Dominic killing Wes in the phone call Jorge made to Dominic, so was that fake or not? Well, I think Dominic was the one who killed him, right? Because I just feel like that has to be. Whit says they kill Laurel's mom and then find out she had nothing to do with killing Wes. Well, okay, maybe. By getting a phone call because they find out everything with the phone call. I mean, I'm really enjoying your emojis today, Whit. Thank you. Ralph says Simon talking, remembering, and making deals after pieces of his brain are missing. Ridiculous. Yes, I mentioned that at the beginning of this chat. I feel like I'm talking too fast. Let me slow down. Absolutely. That issue and the reveal of who wanted Wes dead, very bad. Very bad. The Perfectionist, yes. Does anyone know a premiere date for that show? I've told everyone that I'm going to watch the first episode and we will go from there. I don't want to make promises that I'm going to do videos and chats on it and stuff because it's Marlene's show and we know about Marlene, or at least I know about her. Let's see. Maria says, thoughts on next season where the story is going. We may have more of an idea after this finale, but I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, definitely the twin thing is not relevant, and definitely he actually died. So, sadly. Louis says, was it just you who found it weird that Wes added Laurel's mom as in an emergency? He didn't trust her. Why would he do that? I thought that was weird, too. I think all of it's weird. I feel like it just doesn't really add up to me, and it just makes me sad because it's just a weak storyline, again, to kill your main character, and everything surrounding the death of this character is weak. Why? Why are you going to make a huge decision like that and then have all of the minor details not make any sense? Larissa says the motive for Wes's death doesn't really add up. Yes, I agree. If Laurel's mom was concerned about him going to the police, Dominic didn't need to kill Wes. You still think the Mahoneys are involved somehow. I would like it. That is all I can say about that. For everyone that hopes that the mom wasn't the one or the dad wasn't the one and that there's more to the Wes storyline, I would hope. I can only hope. At this point, I'm not going to think that's going to happen because I feel like they've just let me down. I have not watched Life Sentence, but I'm going to watch it on the app this weekend. A lot of people have asked me if I've watched Lucy Hale's new show. It premiered on the CW this week because of all of the different things going on with me. And since I injured my right hand and I haven't been hardly able to use my hand until today because I got a new cast on my hand. I had a huge contraption. I couldn't use my hand. So I've just been hardly able to do anything. But I want to watch that. Not that it's hard to watch a show, but I want to watch that this weekend. Yes, Connie, I was disappointed as well. Vanessa says Pete Nowalk tweeted out there will be another death next week. So by other death, I feel like, what does that mean? Bonnie, Laurel's mom, Bonnie and Laurel's mom. Marissa says, do I think we will see Olivia Pope or any of those characters join the How to Get Away with Murder cast? No, I don't think we will have Kerry Washington because she's too fabulous. I think she can do something much bigger than that for her future. I don't know if she has any plans, but for her future job. But yeah, I mean, the guy who plays Marcus, again, I don't watch Scandal, so I'm not really down with who these people are in real life, but the guy who plays Marcus, possibly. I don't know if there's a lot of plans for people from there to move, but maybe. Hold on, I think I've missed some comments. Okay. Whit says you have hope that all this ridiculous week stuff has to be leading to a shocker. Well, I'm still going to hope. I don't have as much hope about the finale as I had going into this episode because I thought this episode could be really, really good and the information they gave us about Wes would just be incredible. But it wasn't. Ralph says, see what happens when I don't ease up on the jingle jangle. Right, because when you're on the jingle jangle, you stop even watching Riverdale, and then you don't even know what you're doing, and you trip over things that aren't there, and then you hurt yourself. I'm just joking. I always have to say I'm joking, because you just never know who's watching this that doesn't understand it's a joke, and it's inside joke, pretty much, and they would take it as real, and it's not. Okay, Darko says, why was the check Laurel's mom gave to Wes said November 2015, but he died in 2016? Well, I remember people talking about this before. Isn't there something with this show where it's a couple years behind or a year behind our actual time? I remember this being discussed before when another date was shown, and I feel like the show was supposed to be behind, but I could be wrong. Let me know if you guys remember that. I'm talking about, way back in the day when Rebecca was on the show, I feel like something came up and people were like, wait, did they get the date wrong? And then someone said they were, a year behind or something. Deja says you don't know why, but you feel like they're going to kill off Roa, but do it off camera. I'm wondering who would want to kill him unless it's him killing himself or, accidentally killing himself. Again, that's fine with me because he's dead to me anyway, because that storyline was so bad. So bad. Maria wants to know if the finale is going to be 2 hours. I don't think so. Not that I know of, but that's all I know. Brian says, with all this mess, the last episode, you would love to see Eve again. It's funny because a lot of people bring Eve up. Famke Janssen. She's brought up a lot. People are like, is she ever coming back? I don't remember where we left off with her, but that would be cool because she's a really good actress. I wouldn't be mad if she came back. Marissa wondered if he was the one in the car crash. You mean it looked like Bonnie's car, but it was a mess. So, interesting. I don't remember if he said he was getting out of the hospital soon, and if so, would it be kind of weird if he was driving that soon, but maybe he wasn't supposed to be driving, and he was. I feel like he was just in the hospital. I don't know, but I mean, he looked like he could possibly be getting out soon. James says, if there is more than what we know, then they should be bringing everything to the end with Wes on the finale and not dragging it out to next season. Right. If there's more going on than they want to tell us or reveal to us about Wes and his death, we need to be done with it and not drag that on. Because to me, I feel like we're already dragging with that. Ralph is wondering whatever happened to Oliver's HIV. It's never been discussed anymore. Did he say it went into remission, or did I make that up? I don't know. You're right. It's never brought up anymore. Scorpio says, what would have been cool is if Annalise's husband's sister who set up to kill Wes to frame her. Yeah, I mean, she's definitely kind of been a background sinister character that we hear from time to time, but we haven't heard from her lately, so. Ashna says, if Roa dies, you won't care. I don't care either. Sadly, there's a bunch of people they could kill off, and I don't care. Denver, Nate, Roa, Jorge, Laurel's mom. Do I think Connor and Oliver are actually going to get married? I think yes, But I think when they first try to, I think there's going to be some kind of obstacle, something happen, because there seems to always be some kind of obstacle in their relationship for whatever reason. Darko says, imagine if it was an FBI agent and he's still alive and spying on everyone. Oh, Wes, yeah, imagine, yeah. You know, honestly, we're talking about Connor and Oliver getting married. I'm so glad that Oliver didn't have to marry Simon. I thought that idea was just really bizarre, really out there, and I'm glad they didn't go with that in that direction. Sandrina just wants the whole Kristoff thing explained. It doesn't make sense. I don't get it either. Can someone tell me why his mom was calling Wes Kristoff? Like, I get that that was his given name, but I don't get why she was calling him that. And why did he call himself that too? I guess he was calling her. Can anyone tell me what's up with that? Marissa says, seriously, 2 seasons of Who Killed Wes? Yeah, I know. I feel you. Eve was going to get... Who was Eve going to marry? I don't even remember. That has been quite a minute. And Larissa says she moved to San Francisco. I mean, I think it would be cool if she came back, but I don't know. I remember somebody telling me, like, Famke had some kind of job she had to go do, but that was a while ago, so she's probably finished whatever job, you know? Maria says Roa was a mistake from the start. I felt like it was. I don't feel like we got anything from that whole storyline, sadly. Wit says if they killed a not-so-obvious person, who would I hope it would be? Do you mean, like, who do I want to die, or who would be cool? I mean, I would be cool with them killing anyone, and even if it's a person I liked, because, but again, if they're going to kill someone that we like or whatever, I don't want them to do it just to be, like, shocking and be like, hey, guess what? We killed Laurel because we killed Wes, but we really don't know why we killed her, and we're going to spend, like, a whole other season trying to, you know, explain to you why we killed her, but we don't have a good reason, you know? Do I want Bonnie to die? No, not really. Kind of like her. Kind of don't like her, but kind of like her. Deja thinks it was a mistake to kill off Wes. Absolutely. Ralph says, Bonnie leaving the important phone messages while driving was the indicator that something bad was going to happen to her. I think so. Absolutely. When she did that, I knew something terrible was happening. Ben says the Bonnie crash scene seemed to really parallel the Annalise car crash scene. Yes. Are we going to find out that she was pregnant too? I mean, who knows? Louise says you think that, oh gosh, hold on, that just skipped away. You think they have a lot of money and they look into Wes's past because he was dating Laurel, so they found out, but it's a shame that it's not explicitly explained though. Yes, absolutely. Marissa loved Bonnie until this season, but now she's 99% useless. I you know, have like a love-hate with her. Well, I don't really hate, but she drives me crazy sometimes, but I think the actress is super, super talented, and I'll never forget her scene when she broke down and was, like, begging Annalise, and she was crying. That was, like, Emmy-worthy. I don't think she got an Emmy, but it was Emmy-worthy. Ralph says they told Wes not to use his name, so they used his Kristoff name. I mean, I guess. I hate it. I hate what they've done with Wes. Ashna says this whole season has been about Wes. Next season, they need storylines. They've spent a lot of time on Wes, and sadly, nothing has come out of it. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't explain why he was killed off, and they're trying to, I think, make themselves feel better for killing him off, and it's not working. So we get it. He's dead. Doesn't really make sense to viewers, but we got to move on. And I mean, I don't even know how relevant he is in flashbacks. I mean, I'm sure he'll always be around, kind of like Sam always pops up in flashbacks, but I need us to move on because just trying to go back to it and explain it is just not good because there's no good explanation. So I don't know. I need us to keep going. Jesse says, you think the writers realized they made a mistake when they killed Wes, so you feel like maybe they're trying to bring him back somehow. That's what I think. But I think that their attempts to make sense of why they killed him off or who was involved or who else can they make be involved isn't helping. I don't feel any better about it. I don't feel it's justified. I don't feel like, oh, I'm not like, oh yeah, I get it. I get why they killed off Wes. I have no idea, really. Like, I still can't get it. I still can't make it make sense. Ralph says, thinking about it now, the Nate and his dad storyline was basically written to make the How to Get Away with Murder scandal crossover. I think that's a great point that I never thought of. But yeah. Yeah, they wanted to do something cool, and I think it was kind of cool that they crossed over both of the shows, and it makes sense that they wanted to do it, especially with Scandal being in the last season. I think if Scandal wasn't ending, it would be kind of weird, and then I would be wondering, like, are they going to do more of those? Because that's kind of dumb. But yeah, I think it was kind of a cool idea. James says, but there's a problem with the time, because it's Scandal also not in the present. I don't know. I can't remember why we are back, like, behind the times on this show. Wit says, side note, you thought it was funny how last week Bonnie couldn't go to DC because she was a serious character season 1 on Scandal. Oh, that's right. When I actually watched the show, the woman who plays Bonnie was on Scandal. So, freaking weird. When did Laurel cheat on Wes? She had sex with Frank. They kind of flashed back to that last night. But the timetable of that, maybe it was like I think it was like pretty close to like when he was killed or before he was killed, obviously. Louise says, you're a bit upset Nate was so involved in Wes's storyline in season 3 and now he's so useless and not involved with it. Right, like why were they having secret meetings? Have they ever explained that? And Louise is thinking maybe Wes is not dead, which would be cool, but I don't know. Oh, yeah, these things are like streamers. I get asked that all the time. Honestly, it was trying to make this background look better than an ugly white wall. It probably doesn't work, but they're basically for like a birthday party or whatever. So, Deja says you feel like regardless if they killed Wes off or not, they still would have been in this weird place of trying to make the show interesting. You feel like they would have struggled either way. Now, this is a show that I will keep watching. I probably have said that about other shows like Riverdale, but I've watched this for so long, and you know, I'm not going to stop watching it regardless of what happens next week. I really do want to watch this to the end. I really like the characters regardless of what kind of storylines they throw out there. So I'm going to keep watching it. I really do promise that I will. I have no doubt in my mind I'm going to stop watching it. Unless, the only way I would quit watching it is if like they killed off Annalise and a bunch of the other main characters left and they replace everyone with new characters, then I probably wouldn't care. Brian says, do I think they're going to continue with Simon next season? I hope not. I'm really hoping we're done with that storyline. Another person that I never liked. Another person that I would add to I don't care if they die. That list. Katie thinks there's more to the story about Wes's death. I mean, I know so many people are saying that in here, and I think so many people want there to be, and I think you guys are saying that because it just doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. We don't understand why they killed him off. I think no, but I would love for there to be. But I think we're done with it. I don't know. Ralph says the reason the timeline is whacked is because some episodes that are stretched out 5 to 6 episodes all take place in a matter of hours or days. Yeah, I just don't get why they're going to like actually put a year out there and say that we are in 2016 or whatever. Like, I think it would almost be better if we just kept it mysterious. Like, we know they're in present day, but we really don't need to know like specifically we're like February 2nd, 2017. Do we need to be that specific? I don't know. Because I think when you get that specific, it's pretty easy to have issues in the future if you're trying to throw out other dates and things won't add up because people really pay attention. Vanessa's hoping for a new mystery next season. I really hope so. Maybe they're going to set something up in this finale, which they usually do, that will be leading us into something brand new for next season. Like, really hope. Like, I don't want it to be about who killed Wes or why did we kill Wes or any of that stuff. Ashley says, do I think the show should just end? Like, maybe we're running out of storylines. I think we're getting to that point, sadly. But I'll always use this example of a show that was dead and came back, and that was Dexter, for anyone who has watched that. It was a show that I loved, 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 and it just got so bad that I actually quit watching it, maybe 4 seasons in. I hated it. It was awful. And when I quit watching it, they came out with an amazing series. I missed all of it, got spoiled on Twitter, all of that good stuff. But then I went back and watched it, and it was really good. And then it ended up being terrible when it ended. But so I think that even though a show goes down a bad path, I still think possibly there's hope that we could have a good season. And I was really excited about this half season because I thought maybe this was like the resurgence of this show, but unfortunately it has gone to a bad place. And I just am not down with it anymore. So last night there was a promo for the show For the People, which is another Chandra show, and TJ's asking about that, and it looks kind of like about the justice system and such. I haven't seen or read anything about it besides that promo, so I don't know if that's something that's going to be interesting or that you guys may watch or that I may watch, but yeah, I've seen that. Again, I haven't researched it enough to know a lot about it, but yes. Marissa says, all good shows have a bad season. Let's just hope they wrap up and get more focused again. Yes, so I have not given up hope on it. As much as I have sat here and compared it to Pretty Little Liars, I still think it has way more potential than that show. I think smarter people are behind this show, and I think that it could turn around, and I'm always hoping that it will. James, the season that I disliked was the one before John Lithgow, because John Lithgow's season was fabulous. It was like one of my favorite seasons of any show ever. Fabulous. He's a fabulous actor, and that was just absolutely crazy season with an insane, shocking moment, I think, in the finale. Absolutely insane, like totally unpredictable, except that somebody tweeted it. It wasn't like literally there. I hadn't watched the whole season, and then when I saw like what happened, I was like, oh my God, you're kidding. I have to go watch that season. So I'm not even mad about it. But Marissa says the time jump to them being last year of law or after law school may be a good option for this show. Start a bit fresh in the future. Right now, no one seems to have any direction in life. Yeah, maybe we should jump ahead and maybe have Laurel's kid, like 5 years. I don't know, that might be too much of a jump, but like old enough to go to like preschool or something, so that it's not like, oh my God, she has a baby, but she's out here like dealing with murders and stuff. I don't know. Oh my God, was it Jimmy Smith season? God, I must have an issue with him that I didn't know. It's like this deep issue that you are uncovering. I don't remember, but probably. Now that I totally forgot that he was on Dexter. Man, I'm sorry. So Dark was asking if I'm doing YouTube full time. No. I was, if you guys didn't know, I've done some videos on this before, but I have a degree in communications and I used to be like a local TV anchor and reporter. And because of that, I do a lot of different freelance things, whether that's locally or traveling or whatever. So I do that. And this is kind of, you know, in addition to that, but yeah, but I know it's probably confusing. I've been asked that before, so yeah. Ralph says, no murders, but a good mystery you discovered on Netflix is American Vandal. 8 episodes. It's like 13 Reasons Light. Okay, I've never heard of that one, and I'm definitely trying to find new stuff because even some of the new stuff or some of the stuff I've checked out, just nothing has clicked with me, and I know a lot of people have given me a lot of suggestions. And I always feel bad if I don't really like what people suggest because I don't want to be like, I watched the show you said was good and I didn't really like it, you know, so I usually don't even come back to say that, but like, I've just kind of been in a bad place with shows where I can't find anything that's new to me that is really clicking, and I don't want to watch something was on TV and ended, or something that was 700 seasons and I've missed 600 of them or whatever. I don't know. Maria says, if I could bring one character back, who would it be and why? I would bring back Rebecca. I feel like her death was unwarranted, but I think that Rebecca, she wasn't like my favorite character, but she died pretty quickly, and I think it would be cool to have her back. Marissa watched 7 Seconds on Netflix this week, and it was binge-worthy. What is that about, actually? Brian says, you know, it's just a show, but don't you think they will have to go to jail and maybe they can do a time jump? I don't know what's going to happen in the future with this show. I mean, honestly, they should all go to jail, all of them, because they've all done some really bad things. But that's one of the reasons that I will keep watching this show, and it may end up being just so stupid and ridiculous. But I want to know, did they get away with murder like the title? Probably they will. But I'm interested to see how they end everything. So I'm kind of, as much as I like the show, I am going to be excited for the actual show finale. Yeah, thanks, Ralph. That's good. I'll check that out. What else is coming back that I watch? I feel like things aren't coming back. And I'm like, what is going to, because like How to Get Away with Murder ends next week. And I don't know what's coming back that I cover. I'm feeling like things are not coming back for a while. Like Big Little Lies is not till next year. We don't know when 13 Reasons Why is coming back. We don't know what's going on with Scream 3. So I'm kind of sitting here like, what am I going to do for my channel? And the thing is, Westworld's coming back. So yes, I'll do that. But like I've told you guys before, I don't want to just be on here doing videos about stuff that I don't really care about and I'm not really into, because you know how that will end up. I'll be on here for like 4 weeks with something and then I'll be like, I'm not watching it anymore. So, is 7 Seconds like a documentary? I feel like I've heard of that. So I will be doing Westworld, and if you haven't watched that, you've only missed 1 season, and it's on HBO. You can watch it on HBO Go. So I'll be doing the 2nd season. So for anyone who wants to watch along with me and, you know, watch these videos and whatever I do on it, if I do chats and stuff, then you would definitely want to watch, so you'll know what I'm talking about, because it's kind of a complicated show, and you would have like no clue if you just start tuning in. You would have no clue. So it was a really good show. I really liked it. Ralph says there was a nice moment in the episode when Nate made Annalise smile in the car, which Annalise rarely smiles, so it was nice to see. Yeah, it was. That was a good little moment between the two of them. Oh, so it's a crime drama. Okay, thank you, Marissa. Maria feels like everyone will go to jail except Frank. going to be in Bali having the time of his life. Yeah, I'd like to be doing that. I like Frank, even though he's a bad guy. Like, it really bothered me when he tried to kill himself. Like, I was really upset. Like, he was a real person. So hopefully he lives through the end of all of this. But anyway, thank you so much, guys, for being here. I'm just sorry that it wasn't more interesting and exciting of a reveal as I wanted. I'm very kind of bummed about that. But we still have next week. So it's not the end of this season. Maybe next week will be incredible. I will definitely be back and doing a live chat next Friday. So hopefully you'll come to that. And I don't understand, Louise, why Wes put that USB stick in the bathroom. I really don't get any of this. And didn't someone record video of them talking, yet he only had the recorded audio? I thought there was like a video or maybe still pictures of them talking. Who took those? They never said. I don't know. I'm having some issues. But I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'm hoping stuff comes along so I can be doing more videos and stuff and talk to you guys more on here because I really miss it. This is always so much fun. But anyway, have a great weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.